Right then. I'm not quite sure. It's either the 12th or the 13th of April. If it's the 12th today, that means tomorrow will be Friday the 13th. I'm not quite sure what day it is today. I reckon it's 13th today. Anyway, we've had some awfully grey, dull weather. It was a week ago I went out the last time we had any sun. It's still very, very grey and very, very misty. But apparently, when this all goes in the next couple of days, we should be getting proper warm-ish weather and some blue sky. Right, I'm up in Wilbury Woods. There's no wind. There's a couple of birds twittering, and there's me twittering. The leaves are just starting to appear now. They're feeling safe, the plants. They're feeling safe that they can come out. So I thought I'd do a small walk today. Well, I say small. It's going to be 2 or 3 hours worth. I'm going to go through the wood and down onto the beach. And I might go that way, or I might go through the village and back in the back lanes. I always carry my bus pass because quite often especially in the winter months, not so much in the summer, I get the bus back. It depends how I'm feeling, really. Now, I haven't done too bad today, coming up the hill. This has been one of the better days, believe it or not. Even though I got a slight cough and I am a bit breathless. It's nothing as bad as it can be. But after being entombed, I call it, for quite a few weeks, really. I mean, I came out a week ago when did the Huntsville walk by the River Parrot. That was a 5-hour walk. I've only done a couple of wood walks, which is what I normally do, just to keep me going while waiting for better weather. I have got a lot of it on the agenda. Even trying to fit in a cycle ride at some point along the Strawberry Line. I'm not doing any huge road cycling anymore. 2 reasons. Pollution. Danger from pollution and danger from being killed by unobservant drivers. Or just falling off and whacking me head. Anyway, I want to do the River Parrot Trail on the other side of the River Parrot, starting at Cumedge to Steart. I know that's one of the walks that my sister Jude and Stuart did. Her husband Stuart. I'm also planning to do lots of other things that are on the agenda. Some new walks, some new explorations of the Quantocks. The winter walks, when it's not the season of the cow, I've managed to do most of them. There's always going to be the unexpected cow that's going to turn up on yet unknown territory. I know on certain parts of the River Parrett Trail nearer Bridgewater there are several herds of cows, but I don't intend to do that bit. At the same time, I've got no idea if the stretch I want to do leading up to the hide, the bird hide on Sturt, I've got no idea if there are any cows in that area. This time of year they are extremely frisky because they have been away not for long. They keep them out as long as possible now. The weather's mild. As long as the grass is growing, they keep them out. So for most they've only had 2 or 3 months in a barn, fattening up. So when they come out, they're full of the joys of spring, these frolicking cows. So yes, I've got a lot to do. I'm also doing a lot of stuff to do with the research I did 17, 18 years ago, which I wanted to carry forward with my doctorate degree that I had started at Cardiff University. A couple of years after I finished my master's, I got accepted at Cardiff to do a doctorate in health. And the main reason really was funding. So I convinced myself I didn't really need to do it. I had to come up with a reason really why I didn't want to continue. So I made out I was bored. But really, to be totally honest, it was funding. I'd left Western, you see, for sort of a short period of time. So I didn't really feel I could ask them for funding somehow. I should have got it really, because there weren't many nurses 20 years ago that were doing them PhDs. But it's only a piece of paper. I mean, I've gone on to do lots of other courses, and I don't really care if I get a certificate or not. I do it for the joy of learning, especially the genetics and genomics that I've been studying. But just recently I've been going back over some tape recordings, interviews I did with participants, nurses, on an orthopaedic ward when I was doing my research, who helped me a lot with my research into caring of the elderly confused following hip surgery on an acute orthopaedic environment. Now, they were put away. I had been given permission from the nurses to use them, and I was hoping to have used them as I extended my study. But they've been in a little box, nice and dry, protected for 17 years, and I've not really looked at them since. A lot were also put on floppy disks, which was what we used then. The DVD wasn't really properly out. No memory sticks. There was no www. It was just starting. I was one of the pioneers of graduates using a project called Project Gold, where we were exploring the use of technology and computing in our work. And that was very good. They provided us with a brand new computer and all the equipment, everything, printer, the lot. And we had these online forums. It was very good. Anyway, going back to these tapes, little cassette tapes that I used with an audio player, a little audio handset that I used to use and still use when I was out doing my family tree research, doing grave hunting. I used the little handset audio player, and it still works. I bought another one. I've got two. It was always good to have backup, so I've actually got two, but the original one is in still very good condition. It's a little bit rusty where the batteries connect here and there. But anyway, I've started to play some of the interviews back, and it is amazing the detail in those interviews, the depth. And so I am hoping to put them all together, save them to all various resources like discs, memory cards, clouds, and hopefully give copies to the nurses that participated. Some that are still working, some of them are quite young, they had a lot of insight, and they would be sisters and higher up now. The willing members that joined, because there were people that didn't join who should have done really, if they wanted their awards to go forward. But a lot of people were suspicious of any interviewings, although I've kept it very confidential. I haven't done the 50 or the 100-year rule, but when they did informed consent, they agreed to allowing me to use their knowledge and their experience and their shared thoughts. So I want to try and put a little package together at some point to give back to the ward, with their consent, of course, their continued consent. I mean, I use an ethnographic approach, which is constant reflection and participation. It is a observer participation in a strange sort of way. I couldn't use it as much as I wanted. There wasn't the time. In a master's degree, I had lots of ideas that I wanted to bring forward into the PhD, the doctorate, with group discussions, more multidisciplinary involvement. So there you go, folks. That's just a little insight into my active brain. It never stops, really. My master's degree lies in London in the Royal College of Nursing. It doesn't actually have the tapes. And I've always said the real answers are in the tapes. Not the analysis, the thoughts and feelings of the staff. I've always said that. Over and out for a minute.